Kobe, it's Dash. Hey, what's up, dude? It's good over here. It's just, we're closing in on showtime. I just wanted to make sure things are good with you. Are you all right? Oh my goodness! Wow! Must be a really intense game. Okay, well, fair enough. I just want to make sure you're gonna be here, though, right? You are gonna show up to do the show. All right. Okay, fair enough. Hey, man, we'll see you here. We're gonna knock this show out of the park. I really feel it. All right, man. All right. Sweet. See you soon. Drive safe. All righty. Wait a second. The Summer Split starts after one of the best international performances from a North American team to date, and with the best LCS tailgate to date, that's for certain. All the teams showed up with swag, games to play, and the fans are out in force.
Underhand. No, you gotta go over the top.
You gotta go shooting percentage.
You gotta go check out FlyQuest. This is the team that's got free tacos out there.
Taco stand was amazing. Even Ovely making an
puppies away,
appearance
apparently.
over Clutch Gaming. Some boba courtesy of the Golden Guardians. Team Liquid out with their car, and an artist doing a phenomenal portrait mural of the team itself on the hood of that car. Ton of fun out there. We were all out there earlier.
Don't lie, I didn't go out there.
You didn't go out there at all?
He doesn't go
You're
out
a
there.
cornhole fanatic.
I'm a
and there
cornhole
were
fanatic.
multiple teams with cornhole.
There's too many people. I got scared. I stayed indoors.
What is cornhole?
What do you mean, what is cornhole?
It's the game with the slanted boards and the bags that you throw in the holes.
How can you be on a desk with Mark Zimmerman and not know what cornhole is?
I'm
this
the
guy
cornhole
literally
king.
yells it every time
it's on air.
I'm not a football.
Cornhole! Like, that's how I know Mark Z. All right, well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the LCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we look at the new players entering the league and check in on the opening day festivities until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champions Select. Before the banner reveal, Doublelift and Jensen shared what winning that 5-game series in St. Louis means to their legacy.
One final game for the LCS Championship.
No deaths just yet, but find the knock-up in for Galio. It's one already, making a second, but Doublelift takes the kill, and it's already 3 for 1.
TL's hopes are dimming, but with a huge team fight win, they could start to pull themselves back in. Acadian has no smite, though. They want to try to finish this, but Acadian's so low.
And he goes down. Team Liquid win the fight.
Coming in? Yes. Mid.
It's 2 kills. Team Liquid, I do believe they've done it.
Kill this one.
Team Liquid tie the record. It's 3 LCS titles in a row.
Last split, when we won, it was kind of for Jensen. It's something I've never been able to do, even though I've been playing for 4 years. The first step of like my legacy, people will remember. I actually saw the banner, and the first thing I looked at was not me, but it was Jensen. He looked really happy. This is an amazing feeling, and it doesn't have to stop here. Like I want more.
Thank you very much. I am joined by Steve Arhancet, owner of Team Liquid. Let's hear it for your current champions. Steve, it's been a long journey for the team, and it has been so successful over the past 3 seasons. 3 LCS titles in the repeat, and an incredible run recently as MSI. Overall, now that the team has had a chance to settle in, how is Team Liquid feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. I mean, we obviously are on the backs of the best performance North America has ever had at an international competition. So it felt great to represent the region better than any of our previous competitors, and hopefully we can keep it up. We're a little tentative going into the first week. You know, things might be slow. We were 3 patches behind, so I mean, it's kind of tough. But yeah, the guys are feeling confident, strong. I mean, we beat the previous world champions, so it feels great. Yeah, we're ready.
And kind of playing off of that, what are you doing? What steps is Liquid taking to bring that world champion busting play style back to the LCS stage?
I think the thing that we want to focus on is just playing with no fear, right? Just playing with this intensity, this confidence that we have the capability of being the best in the entire world. And I think MSI proved that, right? Like, we were on the cusp. Obviously, we played against G2, it didn't work out, but we're capable. So I'm excited. And I would say, like, 3 years ago, if I were to say, a North American team could win a world championship, the Twitch chat would be like, yeah, right, and all the memes. But now people are like, wait, they might. And so we're looking to do that.
And Steve, final question. 4 has been a very ominous number for Team Liquid, and no team has ever made the consecutive 4-peat for the LCS title. Who is going to be the first team to do that, and why is it Team Liquid?
I mean, the curse of 4. So, I mean, it's our destiny, right? So, yeah, it's going to be us.
Steve, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. We're going to throw it back to the desk right now to get LCS Summer underway.
Thank you very much, Riv. Congratulations to Team Liquid on their 3 consecutive wins, gunning for that 4th. As Riv mentioned, no team yet to do it here in the LCS. We'll see if they can do it this summer. But I think based on their MSI performance, I love to hear about the learnings for this squad coming back, the idea of playing with no fear, because it was that allowed them to perform as well as they did internationally.
I think it's one of the things you almost always see in North American teams, that like when this pressure gets turned up and they really have a chance, that's oftentimes when it feels like they play their worst. I mean, against IG, probably a complete underdog feeling. They go out and they beat them. It's incredible. And then as soon as it's like, we can actually win the tournament, a completely different team shows up versus G2. So I think that is a very intelligent thing to focus on.
But now that they got to that point, that they were able to take down IG, think of every other team in our league. They know that if they take down Team Liquid, or they can even compete and be competitive against them, you are that close to actually having a shot at international success. So Team Liquid should bring that success and revamp the entire league a step further.
I mean, just remember how close our own playoffs were. Cloud9 getting reverse swept, TL reverse sweeping TSM to go to that international competition. We're going to get a look at a lot of those teams real soon, but not one to wait until the games are played. Kobe has assured us he's spent the offseason doing intense research and has a surprising take on who he thinks will be crowned LCS champion come finals in Detroit. Kobe, what's your breakdown?
Thanks, Dash. It's crazy out here, actually. In the offseason, I've been crunching the numbers. The Golden Guardians are looking amazing. They have made some crazy offseason improvements. I think they're a shoo-in for #1. Championship guaranteed. Just so sweet. Back to you.
Some questionable research.
Right, well, we say off-season improvements, but it's the same 5 guys.
Right, I'm
So
a little confused, Kobe. There was just a lot of, I felt like maybe that was an influenced statement in some fashion.
I've spent a lot of time with Kobe. He's one of the most unbiased people I've ever met. I don't think that he would ever have anybody influence his decisions, especially when it comes to League of Legends.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, he was the man who kept the faith in CLG. Maybe he's right about the Golden Guardians. We're taking a quick break. On the other side, we'll take a look at the new players entering the league, and hopefully Kobe gives us some actual analysis. Don't go anywhere.
Viper, has to play well if this FlyQuest team is going to succeed. He is going to really have to run the gauntlet against a huge field of amazing players.
Spring Split, everyone definitely thought I was going to be at the bottom. I even thought I was going to be bottom, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Everyone was like, oh, this guy is nothing. He's just another one of the failures, the people that come and go.
So many good top laners now in the LCS.
That's what I thought the expectations were. But I knew I was better than that.
My goodness, Viper fights him off 2v1.
People slowly start seeing that.
Viper's looking to find something. Froggen is down. FlyQuest has found the...
I won Rookie of the Split.
Rookie of the Split, it is FlyQuest Viper.
We ended 4th and we were just a brand new team.
When it matters most, it is Viper the rookie.
They saw that I earned my spot. So now my expectations for Summer Split, they're a lot higher. I definitely need to be more. I just want to have a name in NA, When people think FlyQuest, the first thing they think of is Viper. When people think about NA LCS top laners, I want Viper to be there.
Welcome back to the LCS Countdown. We're about 17 minutes away from that first game of the day. And while relative to other summer splits, this has been kind of a quiet offseason, a few teams made some minor but specific adjustments to their, or rather reverse their spring fortunes. And for week one, they will be our players to watch. So first up, let's talk about 100 Thieves' newest acquisition in Amazing.
Yeah, that's someone who I'm really looking forward to because on paper, no one would have ever said that 100 Thieves is our 10th place team. And I still don't believe it. And so while this, a lot of people are saying is a side grade for Anda, I still think that's exactly what this team needs. They need a change of scenery, some fresh blood in there to kind of revitalize the mentality of the team because that's what seemed to hold them back the most. And so when you have so much potential talent on your roster, you don't need a monstrous upgrade to unlock it. You need someone who's going to fit with the team mindset better.
And we got to remember that Amazing, the videos that we just saw are from his time on TSM and NA, and he spent so much time here. He's already an NA resident. So yes, he's a European player, but he does not fill up the import slot. So that should give 100 Thieves a lot more flexibility with their roster and with anything they want to do in the future.
Just an incredible amount of experience in the professional scene. We'll see if he can lend some of that towards 100 Thieves and help them close out some games. Next up, let's talk about one of the more interesting acquisitions of the offseason, I would say, in CLG's ruin in the top.
Well, it starts by the fact that we lost Darshan. Darshan in the top laner, no longer with CLG. He's now playing Academy for Golden Guardians alongside Huhi, and instead we got Ruin, a player from the TCS region coming from one of our favorite teams, 1907 Fenerbahce Esports. Esport. And so this is a guy that plays top lane similar to Darshan, a split pusher, likes to be really aggressive, bit of a carry. So maybe they're trying to go back to, can we maybe get Darshan from 2014 back into the team and see how that works?
It's a play style that requires the whole team to play around it, though. So whereas, Amazing might come in and be a little bit more of a plug-and-play kind of guy, Rune is someone that they're going to really have to comp around if they want to unlock him.
It feels like they're going to have to go one way or the other, right? Either the whole team is adapting to him or he is having to completely adapt to the other four members. Next up is a twofer here. We got Lost and Yasui coming in for Echo Fox. That means Apollo is out, and then, of course, Phoenix in the mid lane as well.
And Yasui's been a guy that a lot of people have had their eye on for a long time. He's been one of these up-and-coming NA talents. It's taken him longer to develop than I think people were anticipating, but finally he's here after a fantastic split in Academy in spring. He was crushing, and so now it's about finally getting him on stage, and they're going to pair him with Lost.
And, of course, with Lost joining Hakuho in the bot lane, this breaks up the longest-standing bot lane duo in the LCS, which was, of course, Apollo and Hakuho. That title now actually goes to Wild Turtle and JJ of all bot lanes from back in Week 3, Summer 2018. So not a single bot lane in the current LCS has been together for a year.
Where's the commitment? Where's the commitment? Like,
it's these new times. No one's committed to each other.
Come on, guys. Keep it together.
How do we feel, though, about Lost slotting in here alongside Hakuho?
I'm an Apollo fan, so, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I'm kind of bummed not to see him. And Lost is a really young guy, a lot of upside, plays very aggressive, and if they're looking to kind of up the aggression on the team, he could be the right guy for it. But I definitely think this is something that they will probably not commit to right now the entire split. We'll probably see some bouncing around.
Yeah, I got to really see them play some games because Echo Fox is doing so well at the end of the season. They went back on a win spree. They were able to make it to the playoffs, and now those players are no longer filling or starting. I think that they must have had some really tough scrims to be able to make these changes because I love what they were doing at the later half of spring.
Sizable moves for a team that was positioned well near the end of spring split. Of course, we mentioned that Wild Turtle and JJ are now the longest-standing duo in the league.
Not for long.
Yeah, I was going to say, but FlyQuest made an acquisition in the offseason as well, bringing over Wadid in that support position. He did play in Academy this week.
Yeah, and I don't think he's playing to start today. So luckily they get to hold on to that record for a little bit longer. But it does feel like because they brought Wadid in, at some point JJ and Wild Turtle are going to lose that to whoever is next on the list. We'll have to see. But you got to imagine they want to give him some time and see how he gels with the main roster.
Yeah, this is a guy who made it all the way to Worlds semifinals. Of course, we'll see how he slots in here with FlyQuest. Finally, last one we got to talk about is a player returning to the LCS stage in Cody-san.
Cody-san is doing the Iron Man this week. That means he's playing all Academy games and all LCS games. Yesterday, he had a sick one. They are already 2-0 in Academy and looking to do the same thing on LCS. And Cody gets a lot of flack, but he's almost always statistically amazing. And so
by the numbers,
really want to see what he can do this week.
He was an all-first pro team player, and he's always been super consistent. The problem that we had was, as far as we know, behind closed doors, there was not much clarity on what led to his benching. So from just numbers and what you get on paper, this is a huge upgrade for Clutch Gaming.
Yeah, without a doubt, over Piglet, that is so far here for Cody-san. So we'll look to see him come out hot in this first week of play. All right, though, it's time to give this another try. I'm going to hand it back to Kobe, who's going to give us a sincere, well-thought-out breakdown on who he believes will make an unlikely run to champion this split.
Thanks, Ash. Upon further investigation, I actually feel like Cloud9 are front runners for the championship. They have made some crazy improvements.
You need an upgrade.
Actually, 100 Thieves, I heard some good things in the offseason. They have just been plugging away. It might be a Cloud9 100 Thieves finals. Actually, back to you guys at the desk.
They didn't even give him the new hoodie. They don't really like Kobe that much. They didn't give him the three-stripe one.
He looks like an old man just said, hello, fellow kids. I do with a side hat.
Old man Kobe. I love. Well, at least the tailgate looks fun. I'm still very on the fence about all the analysis that's coming out of Kobe's camp this summer. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. And as we go, help make our esports community better by purchasing the Pride Athletics Esports Pride shirt at prideathletics.com/esports. Through their partnership with Riot, 10% of all proceeds go towards the Trevor Project. So order yours today, and we'll see you on the other side for more LCS Countdown. Welcome back to opening day of the Summer Split, where Game 1 kicks off in just about 9 minutes. And last split, we introduced the LCS stock market Nilo system, where the analysts are given investment portfolios that they then use to flex their big brains and make big bets on the teams they plan to give returns. First up, let's see where the market opens this summer.
Ring the bell.
Taking a look at all the prices for these squads, I'll give everyone a reminder of how these are calculated. Every individual player on a team is given an ELO value that rises and falls as they win and lose games. So, of course, new, fresh players coming in start at 100. The points move from there. We then, of course, accumulate the value of the team, and that's how they are priced. So I think the thing to point out here is that our spring split champions and the team that finished in first, Team Liquid, is actually sitting third here on the list.
And that's because they lost a lot of games in the back half of the regular split season, and that ended up dropping them down. Remember when we went into playoffs, we were wondering, is Team Liquid even going to be able to beat a lot of these teams out? Yes, we found out that they were able to do so, but TSM and Cloud9 were very strong in playoffs at the end of the regular split, so that's why they're higher.
Yeah, the other thing to remember, too, is it's about 2-week buying and selling periods. You have $5,000 or what points at the beginning, and so a team like Echo Fox right in the middle might be a little interesting, but you need to realize they're playing all 3 of the top 3 Titans, and then the other team they play is Golden Guardians. They're playing 4 playoff teams. You probably don't want to buy them.
Right. As Mark just mentioned, if you want to play along at home, you start with $5,000 to spend, according to those prices that we had listed for you. We tasked both of these guys here, as well as some of the other broadcast members on the team, with doing exactly that. So, Crumbs, we're going to start with you because you're throwing all 7 of your votes behind TSM here, who sits second highest on the list currently. Explain this logic.
So my strategy is very simple. You should do this at home. Buy high, sell higher. All right? TSM is on a complete warpath. I love that they did last split. Remember, they almost full swept Team Liquid in the finals. I think that if they had a little bit more composure, they would have been able to do so. This team, I think, is just on the complete up and up. And this is me saying, I think this is the split for TSM. I'm going all in. I'm going to continue to buy TSM all split long. Mark me down. I don't care about all the other teams.
It's not about predicting a winner. It's about trying to make the most money.
I'm not sure Crumbs understands the game, Mark.
Buy high, sell higher.
Every 2 weeks, you look at the buy, so take a look at TSM's upcoming schedule. They do, of course, have a rematch of the finals here against Team Liquid. That'll be a tough one. If they do get the victory, it'll net a lot of points. They follow that up with CLG, FlyQuest, and Echo Fox. Some middling opponents, at least by the standing sake. Mark, let's talk about yours, because you went for 13 shares of 100 Thieves.
I can buy twice as much.
Our cheapest team in the league.
Cheap.
They were 10th place. They went on a horrible side at the end of the split, but I don't think anyone really believes they're actually the 10th place team in the league, so they're so much cheaper than everyone else that even if they go 2-2 in that schedule, it's only Team Liquid who's the playoff team, but they're so far above them. It's an ELO system. The loss will not be that significant. And then they're playing a bunch of other non-playoff teams, which I think they can easily pick up wins against. You go 2-2, and you were the cheapest team in the league, you're still making money off of it.
That is very true. You know what's crazy to me is that's with Amazing joining at plus 100, which actually would have elevated the team's value. And so
they would have been even cheaper.
Still the cheapest. But again, if you want to play along at home, $5,000, make your picks for the first 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you'll be able to rebuy based on the value of your portfolio
So cheap.
at that point. Opening day kicks off with Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. Then it's a spring finals rematch between Team Liquid and TSM, followed by CLG's new top laner Ruin challenging Amazing under the 100 Thieves banner. And then we have 2 more matches before we call it for day 1. Now cast your mind back to the end of Spring Split. The conversations around the league were concentrated on which of the bottom 7 teams could contest the league's titans, Team Liquid, TSM, and Cloud9. And as you both recall, our crew was divided on who would actually take the title between those top 3.
Right, there's this rock, paper, scissors thing going on where C9 would lose to Team Liquid, beat TSM, who would then beat Team Liquid. And, you know, all throughout the regular season, they were going back and forth. They were clear-cut the best 3 teams in the league. But then when playoffs rolled around, that rock, paper, scissors reversed and went the other way with TSM reverse sweeping Cloud9, who then got reverse swept by Team Liquid. So it was a complete mess at the top of the table, but it was still clearly those 3.
And the thing that makes these teams titans is that they're always really good at just dispatching competition that is slightly weaker. They really won't drop games that are unnecessary.
Right.
And that's why towards the end of the first half, we were looking at Team Liquid and we were really worried. They were dropping games to teams that they definitely should not have lost games to. And so that's where the trouble started coming in. But I think that now they'll pick it back up. You got Summer, the race to Worlds is here. It is full steam ahead.
All in all, those 3 teams were a step above the rest in Spring Split. But as we talk about the top 3 teams, Coach Invert wants to break the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, the overwhelming narrative seems to be that the North American Worlds teams are set, and I love nothing more than to destroy a very clean narrative like that. So everyone's really hungry, really motivated, giving us that little extra burst of energy to kind of challenge that norm and to make sure that we are that 3rd team or we are that 2nd team or we're that 1st team as well. Like, we feel pretty confident going into the split that we can push through. We set up our practice differently to make sure that we're learning more and that we're improving at a greater pace. So for me, I want to destroy that narrative. I want to be one of those teams at Worlds. So
Invert coming to destroy that clean top 3 narrative. And while all of that was happening at the top of the table last spring, teams were trying their best to prove that they could be in the same conversation. Closest to making a case was our 4th place team in FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, this team actually has a lot of OG talent that means that you could make a claim for being that top 3 team. You got Paul Belcher, you got Wild Turtle, Santorin as well, which we've seen for a while, and then Viper, who got Rookie of the Split, and then you got JJ, who's now swapping time with Wadid, a really good European support. So the team has the talent to do so. It's just a matter of can they get to that point, because they faltered in playoffs last split and they're a new team. So maybe they got some good lessons there that they can apply on this time around.
And a lot of people are looking to the younger guys for where that improvement's going to come from the most, especially Santorin and Viper, both them grind lording and solo queue recently, hitting top 10, Santorin hitting number 1. So people are looking at them, and especially Viper, I think, coming in as a Rookie of the Split last year, and he's going up against the 2018 Spring Rookie of the Split, which was Licorice. Those were their stats for their Rookie Split, and you see how good Licorice was.
So dominant.
Viper came in much more of an underdog, wasn't super hyped up, and kind of stole it out of nowhere. But I think where they go from there is the thing that you want to look forward to, because Licorice is the creme de la creme of North American top laners, and Viper wants to break into that mold.
Yeah, I don't tie too much into it. There are different years, different splits, different metas, but yeah, it looked really good for Licorice compared to Viper there. And the hopes for me is that things are shifting to the point where a top laner is expected to play wonky champions. They have to bring out your pikes. You got to have all the flex picks. You got to be able to use any matchup that you get the advantage in. And so if you can give Viper that freedom, we know what he can do on these niche picks. He was a Riven 1 trick at one point. I think that he can pull it off in all the other ones.
We saw in that little feature of him earlier in the show that he definitely has the drive to be in the conversation for best top laner here in North America. I will end the first countdown of the split, though, like I have the ones before it, with your predictions for our first day of games. We're throwing them all up there at one time.
Ooh.
Both of you calling C9 over FlyQuest. Both of you claiming that TSM will get the better of TL in the rematch, but CLG 100 Thieves, middle of the day. Mark Z going for 100 Thieves.
He's biased. He's biased. He obviously bought stuff.
But they did make a roster change you believe will shore up. You kind of mentioned the whole plug-and-play aspect, whereas for CLG there might be a bit more of an adjustment period. So I'm actually more curious on your end, Crumbs, why you have the confidence in this squad out the gate.
Well, I think that last time around when these teams faced off, you would almost certainly give it to CLG. So this time in this split, 100 Thieves made a lot of adjustments that take a lot of time to get used to. You got a new jungler and a new mid laner as well. Those are some of the most important roles in the game. To come in game one, you're gonna tell me in the new meta you've already figured yourself out and you can beat CLG? I don't think so. I think that CLG is gonna be looking a lot more prepared here because they made less drastic changes.
Plug and play, they got it, no problem.
I got 20 seconds left, so I'll just say we'll see.
Fair enough. We shall see. That's the third game of the day. We're kicking it off with Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. With that, we're throwing it out to the Battle Arena. Kobe and Freak, take it away.